Hi, welcome back to the Spirit's Path. This is Dee, and today's tarot card of the day out of the Wildwood Tarot deck is the King of Bows and Adder. Now, this is twice it's coming up in the last week, and combine that with the King of Arrows, the Kingfisher. This is anytime you see a pattern like this, it makes me wonder. Okay. Three kings means that you've got some authoritative figure. Either you're the authoritative figure or somebody else is the authoritative figure in your life. All right, and this King of Bows, this creative energy, is on this board twice for a reason. It wants you to put yourself in action on what's happening. Okay. Now, as I talked about before, this is symbolic of magic, power, and healing. This could be somebody, could be you, who's very charismatic, attractive, maybe a very mature leader. All right. They may have some strong resolve, with high energy and a lot of wisdom. Okay. This is going to be somebody that said leadership is unchallenged, and this might be you. If you're working on that project, if you're using your resources correctly, as we talked about yesterday, with that Six of Stones, maybe you're taking this leadership unchallenged. It's a direct path to your goals that are being realized. And maybe this is you, like I said. If this is a person in your life, it's somebody who's honorable, somebody who stands out in a crowd, somebody who takes charge. All right. If there's an aspect it's of a person, it's putting their touch on things, being assertive, enthusiastic. And the event that they're with is establishing a position or taking a stand. Looking for opportunities to reach a goal. Okay. And, as I've talked about before, the court card's got a couple of questions. And, where do you need to take charge? Is the first question. Okay. And, yesterday was, the Six of Stones, exploitation. Where do you need to take charge in using your resources correctly? Maybe towards that house that we were talking about, or, maybe where do you need to take charge to be selfless in the way you go about your day? Where do you need to take charge in not being selfish? Okay, using your resources for others, like I talked about yesterday, and using it for, if you've got extra homemaking equipment, for building a house at the house, donate that to, Habitat for Humanity, or, maybe you've got extra dishes or something like that you're not using, give those to the Salvation Army. Where do you need to take charge in order to, help declutter what you do have? Because, the clutter that you have, that's a resource. Okay. How can it be help for other people? Where do you need to take charge into, doing something different with your home? Right? Whether that's, creating a man cave, a den, repainting or whatever, those extra supplies maybe can go to, like I said, that Habitat for Humanity. Where do you need to take charge to make sure you have enough of what you need? The King of Arrows, that Kingfisher, is asking, where do you need to focus on clearly? Okay. With these two cards, these two kings are giving you a lot of advice. And this King of Bows is out there twice. Where do you need to take charge, and where do you need to focus on clearly to use your resources correctly? And that's what the message seems to be coming down to here this week with these, so far 4 cards. Where do you need to focus on clearly to not be selfish? Maybe that when you were looking within in that mirror, right? And you seen the inner reflection, you said, you know what? I see the shadows, the inner shadows, and, I need to share some of the gifts that I have. And that'll dispel some of those inner shadows that I don't want to talk to about anybody else. And this way, when I look in the mirror, I can feel better about who I am. All right? And maybe that was a revelation, when you looked in that mirror. And, now the kings are telling you, you know what? The King of Bows is right before that. All right. And, then you had the mirror card. It was asking you, where do you need to take charge? You looked in the mirror, you took charge, and you said, what? You know what? I'm going to change something in my life. I'm going to be selfless and not selfish. And this King of Arrows, right after the mirror is saying, okay, where do you need to focus on? And you started putting a plan together. And that plan was to, whether you knew it or not, was to start looking at your resources and using them right, using them correctly. And like I said, this card was up 5 days ago, and then 6 days ago you got the Nine of Vessels and generosity. Where do you need to take charge with your generosity? You can be generous with your resources. You can be generous with your love. You can be generous with your time. It's how you use it, and not being selfless or selfish about it. And the other question that this King of Bows asks is, where is your enthusiasm leading you? Where is it leading you to be generous with others? Where is your enthusiasm leading you to look into that mirror? Right? And then, what is that wise counsel or word that the King of Arrows has given you after you've looked into that mirror? So maybe your enthusiasm after you went through all that is saying, you know what, I want to do something different with my house. So you go out and you buy, maybe you're buying decking material, all right, or paint for a room. And then you realize, after you get done doing stuff, you got more than enough. Let me donate it to another cause. All right, let me help somebody else manifest their dreams in their house. All right, and use those resources correctly. Right? And not be selfish, but be selfless. And then you realize when this King of Bows pops up, you say, you know what? I took charge on this. I like being this leader. I like having that direct path where, we are putting goals together and we are taking care, we are meeting the goals of others, as well as meeting the goals that that you have. And you've got that great plan. And once you start seeing things take momentum, that's where your enthusiasm starts picking up. And you say, you know what? I can do this. I can do this for myself. I can do this for others. I can do this moving forward. And that's why that King of Bows, this adder, popped right back up. And that's today's tarot card of the day. So, hopefully this makes sense to you. I'm just reading the cards and talking as spirits, talking in my ear. And, this is Dee for Spirit's Path. I hope you enjoyed the tarot card of the day. Hit that like button for me. Subscribe to the channel and share it with others. And we'll talk to you tomorrow. Take care. God bless. And stay safe, everybody.